So I've just decided that I'm gonna be doing like a garden vlog and like following along as the seasons go on and things grow and things change and the good, the bad, and ugly. I was thinking like how cool would it be to like watch it all happen? Like right there all together, like just be able to scroll through my feed and just watch the progression. That's so cool. I love to watch things like that. I know I normally post like reels and like photos and stuff, but I just feel like vlogging it and like hearing myself talk about it and like talk about my thought processes in those moments. I think that will be really interesting to watch. So right now Penelope is sleeping. Let's do our very first garden yard vlog. Everything is like a mess right now. Don't judge. It just is. It'll get cleaned up as time goes. I honestly never know what to do right here. We always usually just stock it with mums, and then they've been coming back on their own, but some of them didn't come back this year, and I am trying to figure out if I want to keep the mums there or if I want to change it up to something different. I'm not sure. Something about having like a wall of lavender right here just really appeals to me. You can see here, you can see the mums are coming back. This one, not so much. This was an annual, so that will need to be replaced. Oh, I see a little bit, but I'm not seeing like a promising amount for like a good bush. This one looks good. Maybe I'll just stick with the mums. Out front over here, we have 2 hydrangeas, and then right in front of them, there's salvias. Bush thing with our little bird bath that is used very much so. Lilac, which is my favorite lilac at the end, and that is a dogwood. This used to be just grass, and there was a giant holly tree right here, and the holly trees would constantly, the leaves would stick my kids in the feet, and we're like, we used to call it hell tree. This hell tree needed, and I thought that the grass was such a wasted space. Like it could have been so much more productive. We can grow food and herbs and all that stuff. So I convinced my husband to let me put a front yard garden. Around the edges here, I planted a bunch of perennials. I wanted to plant them once and not have to plant them again. Some of them took, some of them I'm going to need to replace, but mainly it's alternating between rosemary and lavender along the front. See right here, this space I'm going to need to replace right there. And along the sides, there's yarrow, there's blue tansy. I think it alternates between those, if I remember correctly. I'm probably wrong. I have 3 raised beds on each side, and they're connected by cattle panel trellises. You can see I have some acorns, you know, hanging. This is from actually Halloween. I couldn't think of the word. Pine cone. Oh my gosh, sorry. Here is where Hell Tree lived, and I put one of these planters on top of it. Filled it with water. We had fish in here that kept away the mosquitoes, and this beautiful pond plant that grew really big. Last year I just threw a whole bunch of wildflower seeds down here, but it covered my pond, so that defies the purpose, and I'm going to do something lower. I'm thinking probably like a creeping thyme or something like that. And my little certified wildlife habitat sign right next to a nice alcohol bottle of Smirnoff that some hooligans dropped along here. All right, it's hard to see, but 1, 2, 3, and a very, very small one, blueberry bushes. You can see they're budding. Spring is coming, except for they're calling for snow tomorrow. I want to continue the blueberry bushes up here. Ignore this, but I want to continue them so it's like a nice little wall of blueberry bushes. This area here, I never know what the heck to do with it. The ground is awful. It's very compact. There's stumps, like random stumps throughout it. Our fence is falling apart. We need to replace this fence, but that's another project. So you can see stumps. So it's like really hard to figure out what to do. Last year I decided, you can see this trellis here I wanted to grow. I have grapes. There's 1, and then there's 2. and they're going to grow up and along the wire. That just like didn't work. So I have different plans for our grapes this year. And for this ugly space that I never know what to do with, I told Steve we're going to rent a tiller. We're going to till it up, and I'm going to throw down a whole bunch of pollinator wildflower mix that I have inside that I got yesterday at Tractor Supply. When in doubt, plant flowers. Can't go wrong. It's literally right next to my front yard garden and my backyard garden. So I want all the butterflies, all the bees, all of it. And those flowers will help. Oh yeah, and before I forget, right there, Steve built a crow feeder because we are trying to be friends with the crows that live in our neighborhood. Trying to clean up some flower pots that are just everywhere because at the end of the season I'm just so burnt out that the last thing I want to do is clean it up and I leave a mess. But oh well, I'm cleaning it now. Yeah, so sorry, I got sidetracked. I had a neighbor walk by and I got like all weird because I am filming and it's kind of strange. But anyway, so right there, corner right by my compost, crow feeder. There's crows that like live in trees somewhere over here, and we had the pigeons, and crows help keep hawks away. So we are going to do everything in our power to become friends with the crows and have them want to protect our yard and keep the hawks away from the pigeons and the chickens and all our animals. All right, back to my beds. Thought process right now. I'm thinking of doing something very uniform, all like 2 rows and a bunch of broccoli on one side and cauliflower on the other side. That bed up there has garlic growing in the very front of it, but there's plenty of space to be able to plant the cauliflower that I want to. The idea for these trellises, the first 2 is where I'm going to move those grapes that I just showed you on the side of the fence. And this last one, I'm just going to plant a bunch of peas first. They can grow up, we can eat them, and when their time comes, I can replace it with whatever my plan is for the summer garden. The lilacs are budding. All right, it's a hot mess in here. Don't judge. Or do. I don't care. Halloween decorations and stuff that I need to go through and get rid of, as well as a bunch of dead plants that I just wanted to break down, but I just never chopped them up. So we burned a bunch of them the other day. You can see right there, our burn pile still smells. But ash is really good for your garden. So that's why we did it right here, smack dab in the center. These 3 pots have sage in them, so they come back on their own every year. I don't have to do anything for them. Sometimes I'll pop in a couple extra seeds just to like fill it out, but they're basically on their own. And this hot mess of things is our raspberries. This is one of my favorite plants. The kids come out here and they just snack whenever they want, and it's amazing. And to think this all started from like I think I had 4 bare root sticks. It was just like a little stick. And then they planted them, and then they didn't do anything. And then next thing you know, like, I think it was like 2 seasons maybe. It was just crazy. And now I have to like take them up out of my walkway because they're like spreading like crazy. I have this trellis here. You know, I don't even know if I'm going to plant anything productive on it because we have a honeysuckle that grows along it, and it has like started taking over the trellis, and I'm worried that it doesn't look like much now, but when the summer comes, it's like engulfs it. So I think I'm just gonna leave that with the honeysuckle. We had a turtle in here. We released the turtle. Now I need to figure something out for here. I mean, there's baby turtles right there. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna hatch. I've never had this happen before, so we're just kind of seeing what happens. I put that over it so that no animals can get to them. They may be duds, who knows, but I put it there anyway just for safety. You can see my garden is a mess. Everything, pots, mess. My compost back there, our crow feeder. I really got to get in here and put down a layer of compost. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to have to do a part 2. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it tomorrow because they're actually calling for snow here. I don't think it actually is gonna snow. I think it's just gonna be like more of a rain, but either way, they're calling for snow, so I might not be able to be outside tomorrow, but I will do a part 2 on, hopefully I'll be able to get up on Wednesday.